Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Unconscious Communication Secrets with myself, Muneer, Al-Busaidi. And today I have a quick question for you. Have you ever tried to speak to someone, like explain to them what you do for your job, or what your favorite hobby is, or for example, if you have a complicated hobby and you just had this sort of blank stare, like you're trying to explain to someone and they just end up so confused, and then you just kind of give up and you're just like, yeah, we'll leave it at that. I work, that's what I do. Well, today I'm gonna be sharing with you one of my favorite topics when it comes to persuasion, influence, as well as getting your point across, and even for helping people to make changes. So before we do that, we are live just after 5, and I want to give a quick shout out to who's online. So today, Anand, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. So let's get going. So today I am going to be talking to you about something called metaphors. All right, let me pull this up real quick. So there we go. So today we're talking about the power of metaphors. So as I asked you just a minute ago, have you ever tried to explain what you do to someone and they just didn't know? So let me explain, what is a metaphor. I'm going to use a metaphor to explain what a metaphor is, right? If you've ever used something like Google Translate, what does Google Translate do, right? Google Translate takes something that you don't understand, right, like a different language, and matches it with what you do understand, okay, which is your language, right? And so with a metaphor, that's what we do. That's why a metaphor is so powerful, because you're taking something that someone doesn't understand, a concept like your job or etc., and then you're matching it with language or imagery or concepts that they do understand. And so, and here's why this is, again, why it's so powerful, is because this is the way that our brain likes to think. This is the way that our brain is wired to think. So it's very, 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 very powerful. Okay, quick couple of shout outs. Nicole is in the house. Whoop, whoop. Nicole is helping me get like properly in shape at the moment. I have so much love and respect for her right now, because my body's like, she's giving me all my workouts. So if you're looking for a personal trainer, check out Nicole. Anand, thanks for the other hello. Appreciate you. All right, cool. Let's get going. So as I mentioned, I was supposed to be recording. I forgot to press the record button, but we're gonna press the record button now. All right, cool. So Google Translate, a metaphor is a little bit like Google Translate. It takes what you don't know and matches it up with what you do know. So in the case of another language, it takes a different language that you don't know. It takes the language that you know and matches it together. When we talk about metaphors, you're taking concepts that you don't know and matching it with language or concepts that you do know. So imagery, concepts, language that you do know. So I'll give you a quick couple of examples. And now, first of all, this is huge, because like, you want to be able to get your point across. It's also huge because the brain already thinks in metaphors. People think in concepts, and when you're able to get people to understand, if you're able to communicate in ways that the brain already understands, it's going to take you so much further, faster than ever before. It's going to ease your communication process. So very, very powerful. Now, let me give you a couple of natural examples of this, right? Stories. Half the times when you watch a movie, you listen to a story. Half the time, stories are metaphors. Stories, like when we teach kids and we tell bedtime stories, half of the time they're metaphors for why they should behave, or why they shouldn't overeat, or why they shouldn't talk to strangers. Sometimes those are metaphors. So you see metaphors in everyday examples, whether it's stories, but also when we speak to people and we want them to know, we want them to really get what we're talking about, we'll use metaphors like, oh my God, I went to this place and I had to pay my fees. Man, they bled me dry. What am I saying by that? By saying they bled me dry, it is a metaphor for they took everything I had. They took everything from me, kind of thing, right? So that's sort of a metaphor. You have metaphors like I'm trying to think of like this person, oh my God, I would give my heart to this person. Like I like this this person so much I would do anything for them, right? That's a metaphor. You see, very quickly, using just some concepts, I can explain wider concepts and get so much of the emotion across very quickly. So metaphors are things we use all the time. Sometimes some of the phrases that we use on a daily basis are very metaphorical in nature. Hit two birds with one stone, right? What is that? That's a metaphor. That's a metaphor for I'm just going to do one thing and I will achieve multiple things. You see? So metaphor is very, very, very powerful. Now, let me give you a very quick story here, right? When at one point in my career, I was working in marketing in the airline, and I was like, listen, I don't want to be working in marketing. I started learning how to do things like online marketing. I started studying online marketing, and I started to study something called search engine optimization. And yes, that name sounds very complex, and for a lot of people. And if it sounds complex to you, that's fine. It sounds complex to a lot of people. But I started studying something called search engine optimization. And guess what? It sounds complex to a lot of people. But I started to realize search engine optimization, which is the process of getting your website to show up in the search engines, right? So just like if you look at when you search for Muneer Al-Busaidi, like right at the top, you've got my YouTube channel, you've got my website, muneer.com, you've got my videos. So the process of showing up in the search engines, you achieve that by doing something called search engine optimization. And I was like, this is very, very powerful. Like if someone is looking for you, then you want to be able for people to find you. And I was like, oh my God, this is so powerful. And I was like, okay, I need to explain this to the marketing guys, and hopefully they'll give me a job in digital marketing. Like I wanted to kick this off. I was like, and this was when digital marketing was very new to the whole region. Nobody understood what these concepts were. Right now, a lot of marketing departments, they know what it is. But when it's first started, when we're talking, like, I know I look young, but we're talking about 15, 16 years ago. Nobody was doing this kind of thing, right? And I went to these guys and I said, okay, I want us to do some digital marketing. And they were like, I want us to do search engine optimization. They're like, what is that? Like, how the hell are we supposed to do it? And I thought, oh, okay, I need to explain this, and I need to explain this fast. How do I explain this? And my ability to be able for us to do it, as well as for me to start working in this field, really relies on me being able to explain it. And I went, you know how in Microsoft Word, if you go and you click Control F, or you go and you press the find button, it will look through the document and you type, hey, find the word Muneer in the Word document. Microsoft Word will then go and look through the document to see if the word Muneer is in there, and it will find it for you. And I said, that's exactly like search engine optimization. If we want to show up in Google, we need to put the words on our website so that we can start to show up. And they went, oh, cool. And there I explained a very complex concept for people. And that's the over here. I don't know if you can see on my screen. There's the find function on a Word document. You go and you say find the word UPN, and it will go into the document and it will find the words. And I said, basically, if our website doesn't have the words that people are looking for, then we're not going to show up. And I said, right now, people are looking for flights from this place to this place, and we're not showing up. I said, I want to help us show up. And that's how I got promoted and started my career in digital marketing. Because I was able to not only understand that this is what we needed to do, but I was able to go and say to the teams, hey, this is what we're meant to do. This is how we do it. This is why it's good. Okay? Hopefully this all makes sense. And hi, Sayed Salman. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you coming on. So metaphors are very, very powerful because they'll help you to take complex concepts and explain them, right? So when you use a metaphor, people will understand you more, right? When you use a metaphor, people will understand you more. And so why did I start off this session with life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. And that's because that's one of the famous metaphors we know. A lot of the jokes that we know, a lot of the common phrases that we know, they're all metaphors. So hopefully that that gives you a little bit of an insight into what metaphors are. Metaphors will help you to get your points across. They will help you to understand people more. They will, because when you start to understand, when people talk, we all talk in metaphors half the time. Oh man, I was digging into the books. That's someone speaking in metaphors, so you can understand people more. A lot of the challenges that people have are simply because their mind is thinking sometimes in metaphors that are not great for them. But you can also hijack people's metaphors. When someone says, oh man, it's just like there's so many roadblocks in my way, and you just say, okay, is there another path, or can we go around the roadblocks? When you start speaking in people's metaphors, it sounds silly, but you're talking the language of their mind. You're talking the language of their problem, and you're navigating through their map of the world, their thought patterns. So this is hugely, hugely powerful. And that's why also metaphors are very much in the realm of helping people to transform. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and this was talking about metaphors. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. And if you have not, please do subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/Muneer. And I look forward to seeing you on another video very, very soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Lots of love. And I will catch you on another video very soon. Peace out. See you soon.